Hello again, guys. My name is Jordan. Welcome to Campus Rec's yoga class. Before we get started, make sure you guys have a bottle of water nearby. Grab a towel if you know you're going to sweat a little bit more than usual. Maybe if you have a pillow or a block, you might want to grab that now only because you may use it as a cushion or you may use it to bring the floor closer to you, whether you're feeling tight or flexible today. Whatever the case may, have it nearby. Try and grab it now just so you don't have to move during or middle of class. You guys are muted, so feel free if you want to play your own music, you can. Just make sure that I am loud enough so you can hear me over that music. Also, go ahead, if you haven't done so already, make sure you pin my video so you can see me, so you're getting both the visual and an audio cue for today's class. I do teach a vinyasa type style class, so focusing a lot on connecting the breath with the movement here. At any point during the class, though, everything I say is suggestion. You don't have to take every pose. If you want to take a break, typically in yoga, we come to a nice, easy recovery child's pose, just like this. If that's uncomfortable for you, or you don't like your head on the ground, you can sit in hero's pose like this. You can sit on your butt, you lie on your back. Whatever works for you, whatever is most comfortable for you to reconnect with your breath or bring that heart rate or breathing rate back down. Again, everything I say is a suggestion. You know your body best, so listen to it. All right. Hopefully you guys are doing safe, well, healthy. Happy Tuesday. We will officially get started with our class. Let's start off seated. Yeah. We're going to start off seated, cross-legged, fire log position. Does not matter which shin you have on top. We're going to switch it at some point. If you're able to stack and want to stack your shins, you may. I'm not going to because I cannot. And then just getting comfortable here. If this is really uncomfortable, you have really tight hips, you have the option to maybe put some blocks underneath your knees. Or if you'd like, you can sit with your legs out in front of you. Maybe like a butterfly stretch on the soles of your feet to touch. Legs can be spread out. If you want to lie down on your back for the first few minutes of class, you can do that as well. And wherever you are, if you're in the seated position, slowly closing your eyes. Palms can face down towards the ground if you'd like to receive energy. Palms face up towards the ceiling or the sky if you'd like to give out energy. And then with every breath right now, just feeling the sensation in your body relaxing, falling closer and closer to the mat here. Feel your knees sink a little bit closer to the ground. Shoulder blades sort of slide down your back. Try not to hunch over though. And then before we bring attention, start our breathing exercises, taking the time right now to be grateful, thankful, maybe thanking your mind, your body, and your spirit for making it here today. For taking the time out of your day to take care of yourself, so important. Hopefully that brings a smile to your face. Then let's slowly bring our attention to our breath, our diaphragm. As we inhale, the belly fills, expands up and outwards, the chest follows. And then exhale it all out. Last few weeks we've been working on our Ujjayi breath. So as we inhale through the nose, we're going to exhale through the nose again. Using this to power us through our practice today, maybe throughout our daily lives. Trying to create that ocean whoosh sound with our nose. Maybe you want to breathe for a 4 count and exhale for a 4 count. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, maybe you do some box breathing, meaning you inhale for, let's say, 4 seconds or for a 4 count, hold it at the top for 4, and then exhale for 4 counts. Lots of options here. If 4 is too much, you can bring it down to 2 or 3, or you're just breathing normally, whatever works for you. And then setting an intention for today's class, or maybe you want to set an intention for the rest of the week, the month, or the summer. Whatever that intention may be, whether it be today, right now, or later. Whenever you need some extra strength or some extra flexibility, just keeping that intention in the back of your mind, always remembering it. Starting to feel the heat building in our bellies, our bodies. We continue our breath work here for a few more breaths. Then I want you to slowly open your eyes. You can keep them closed if you'd like. We're going to slowly roll our head / neck in a clockwise direction, or whichever direction you want to go first. We're going to switch it up anyways at some point. Bring that ear all the way down to your shoulder, chin down to your chest, ear to the opposite shoulder as far back as you can, and then switching whichever direction you may have gone or started with. One side may feel tighter, easier than the other. You hear me say that a lot in my classes. It's perfectly normal. Then relaxing your head back center. Taking your right hand, you're going to grab the left side of your head. You're just going to pull your right ear to your right shoulder. Try your best not to fall forward and lean over to the side. Stay nice and centered and upright. Inhale. Exhale, pull. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, pull your deepest. Release your head back center. Relax that right hand down. Left hand to the right side of your head. Pull your left ear to your left shoulder now. Staying nice and upright, nice and centered. Both glutes are on the mat. Inhale. Exhale, pull. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, pull your deepest. Inhale your head back center, release your left hand down. Switching your legs, so if your left leg was stacked on top, make sure now that your right is. Might feel awkward at first, trying to be as symmetrical as we can. If this gets uncomfortable, again, you have the optional butterfly stretch, soles touching, or feet extended out. Inhale, arms are going to reach up and overhead. And on the exhale, let's hinge it forward and fold here. Just give our backs a little bit of a break. Focusing, reaching out with your hands. Inhale. Exhale, crawl your fingers out. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Inhale, slowly begin to rise. Arms are going to reach up and overhead. And we're going to do a warm-up for that rotator cuff posterior chain. We're going to slide our hands to cactus, and you're going to keep them here, but bring your elbows down to your pockets so the angle of your elbow should narrow. Pinch your shoulder blades together, and then rise back up all the way overhead, okay? Slowly slide your elbows down to your pockets as far as you can. Pinch those shoulder blades together, and then reach back up overhead. Pretending you're against the wall, your forearms and wrists are sliding against it, keeping your back all in line. Pretending you're in between two planes of glass. Let's do that one more time, sliding down. And then rising back up, but meeting at cactus, so don't straighten your arms overhead. We're gonna take eagle arms. Our right arm's gonna wrap underneath our left, trying to grab your palms. If this is too much, keep your forearms and palms connected without wrapping underneath. Inhale, lift those elbows shoulder height, gaze up, press those palms away. And on the exhale, folding forward here. Here, making sure, focusing not so much as folding your head down, rather than keeping your elbows lifted and palms pressed away from your face, feeling that stretch behind our shoulders. Inhale. Exhale a little bit more. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slowly begin to rise, unravel the arms back to cactus, and then switching it up. So left arm's gonna wrap underneath our right, grabbing the palm or keeping your forearm and palms connected without wrapping. Inhale, elbows lift up, gaze up at the ceiling, press those palms away. And then on the exhale, folding underneath, or forward, I should say. Again, focusing more on lifting the elbows, pressing the palms away for 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale, slowly begin to rise, 1 vertebrae at a time. Arms reach up overhead. And then drop your right hand down to your right side, reaching over for a nice side body stretch. Option here, if you'd like, maybe you can drop down the forearm or stay up on your hand. Trying to keep both glutes glued to the floor. Open up the chest a little bit more for me, guys. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, our deepest. Inhale, coming back center, arms reach up overhead. And then exhale, left hand drops down, reaching over to the left side. Maybe you drop down to the forearm, staying upright, staying nice and center with our glutes and our low back here, not leaning over for 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, your deepest. Inhale, coming back center. Lower your hands down towards our knees. We're gonna roll over our knees, ankles, and shins. Come to all fours in tabletop position. Make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. We're gonna first start with some cat-cows in the quadruped position. So inhale, drop the belly, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, look down and away, arching the opposite direction. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, look down and away. 1 more time. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, bridge in the opposite direction. And then coming back to neutral. We're going to start off lifting opposite arm, opposite leg. Inhale, lift that right arm, left leg up. Right thumb is pointing up towards the ceiling. Left toes are pointing down to the ground. Try and not arch your belly or drop your belly towards the ground. You want to be in one straight line from your toes to your fingers. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Opposite side. Inhale, lift up. Left thumb is pointing up towards the ceiling. Right toes are pointing down towards the ground. Again, not arching your belly towards the ground. You want to be one flat line from your toes to your fingers. Extend. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. So I'm going to twist so you guys, I keep talking, face you guys. We're going to take a variation of Halfmoon Pose. So we're going to take our right foot. You're going to rotate it off your mat, okay? So like this, but right foot's off the mat. We're going to extend our left leg behind us in the air, only our left leg. We're going to rotate our foot so that our toes are pointing towards the side. Then our left hand's going to reach up and overhead. So again, left leg extended out, toes are pointing straight towards the side. Right toes are off our mat. Maybe you're able to bring your gaze upwards, holding this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that hand down first, then left knee, and then bring your right foot back onto the mat. I'm just twisting again to stay facing, guys. Other side. Left foot now rotates off your mat. Right leg lifts up into the air. Rotate your leg so that your toes are pointing towards the side. And then when you're ready, right arm's gonna lift up towards the ceiling. Maybe you're able to gaze up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that right hand down, right knee underneath right hip. Left foot comes back on your mat. And let's take a wide-legged child's pose here. So knees are further than hip distance. Big toes are still touching. Really arching, pushing your hips over your heels here. Make it a little more active than usual. Typically, it's a recovery resting position. We're going to take advantage, make it a little bit more of a stretch. And then from here, I'm going to twist to face you guys. We're going to walk our hands over towards the right for a nice side body stretch. Focusing more on reaching out that left hand rather than walking your hands all the way over to the right. Should feel a nice stretch in your left lat or side right here. And then walk your hands slowly back center and then towards the left. Focusing more on reaching now with that right hand further out. Good. Just holding this for one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And then coming back center. Slowly begin to rise, walking your hands back, meaning back in tabletop position. We're going to lift only our shins off the ground, so we're going to be in a bear crawlish position. When we're ready, inhale, lift up, knees are hovering, shins are hovering, wrists are underneath our shoulders still, feet are exactly where they were. Holding this for 5, 4, squeeze that core, 3, 2, 1, lower down. Just getting ourselves a little bit more warmed up here, guys. Inhale, rise back up, holding it again. Maybe we're able to extend our right leg out behind us. Lower that down. Maybe you're able to extend your left leg out behind you. Keeping your low back flat, don't rotate up. Lower it down. Everyone hold it for 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees down towards the ground. Nice job, guys. From here, we're going to lift up to plank pose or a push-up or top of a push-up. And then push back to our first downward facing dog. Walking it out, if you like. Maybe we shake our head yes, no. Sway our hips side to side. Whatever feels good right now, getting those kinks out, our first down dog. Maybe you rise up on your tippy toes with your knees straight. Get some of those cracks out, then allow your heels to sink further down. Repping that out if you'd like. Lots of options here. Just for a couple more breaths. And then on our next inhale, roll forward, plank pose or top of a push-up. Slowly lower down chaturanga, but lay flat on your belly. Untuck your toes, arms are going to come to our sides. On our next inhale, we're going to lift everything off the ground for Superman. Inhale, rise up. Holding this here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. For the next one, if you want to take it further, maybe you lock your hands behind your sacrum and lift off. Up to you. Inhale, rise up. Holding again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Last one here on our bellies. If you want to take bow pose, bending your knees, grabbing your ankles, and then lifting up. Any of those options is okay. Inhale, rise up. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower everything down towards the ground. Place your palms back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, straighten our arms, cobra. But hold it here for a little bit, okay? Make sure your ears are not in your shoulders. Your shoulder blades are sliding down your back. Maybe we gaze over our left shoulder. Maybe switch over to the right. Inhale, back center. Tuck your toes, hips lift and rise back. Downward facing dog. Good. So from here, We're going to take our left hand. I want you to try and touch your back right ankle, reaching underneath and across. Inhale. Exhale, place that left hand back in front. Right hand now goes to that back left ankle. Hold it here. Inhale. Exhale, back up top. Good. Then slowly begin to walk your feet towards the top of your mat. Maybe you're able to keep your knees straight or you have to bend your knees. That's okay. Separate your feet so that they're shoulder width apart. I'm going to face you guys. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Hanging out here in this little bit of a wide-legged Uttanasana forward fold. We're going to actually take a little bit of a twist here. So first, we're going to bend our left knee ever so slightly. Keep your right knee straight. Left hand's going to come to the outside of that right shin or ankle. Then you're going to rotate that right palm up towards the ceiling. Doing your best here to use your left hand or forearm against your right shin as a torque to twist yourself open just for one more breath. Inhale. Exhale, twist your deepest. Then lower your right hand back underneath. Now straighten that left knee, slightly bend that right knee. Right hand comes to the outside of that left ankle. Twist that left palm up to the ceiling. Again, using that right hand to pull, torque yourself up into a deeper twist. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And then lowering back down center. Both knees are nice and straight here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, slowly begin to rise one vertebrae at a time. Coming to stand, Tadasana, mountain pose, hands are at the side, feeling grounded here. Good. Inhale, arms reach up and overhead. And then dive into the midline Uttanasana, forward fold, so we can prep to go through a flow. Inhale, half lift, fingertips hover off the ground. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, plank pose. Slowly lower down, chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra. Tuck your toes, push back, downward facing dog. This time again, walk your hands up, or maybe you take a tiny hop towards the top of your mat. Feet are glued together. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. On your next inhale, slightly bend your knees, lift the chest, arms rise up, chair pose. Okay, so you're trying to tuck your pelvis underneath, knees are slightly bent, chest stays lifted, arms are up and overhead. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Maybe you drop that butt down a little bit more. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right, hook that left elbow around that right knee here. Try not to allow that butt to rise up, stay nice and low. Tough transition here. Taking our left foot, you're gonna step into the back of your mat, twisted lunge. Holding here just for a second. Drop that back knee, untuck those back toes. And then from here, you have a couple options. You can release the twist coming center for a nice hip flexor stretch, or you can keep the twist, extend your arms out for a little bit more of a hip flexor and a twist. Up to you, lots of options here, or you keep your arms extended out. Whichever you take, 3 more breaths. Make sure that front knee doesn't go past those front toes. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. One more time. Inhale. Exhale for 3. You're going to tuck your back toes. If you haven't rotated forward, swing your arms forward. Hips are going to shoot back. Straighten that front leg. Hinge at the hips and then fold. And then sticking to this twisted theme, try and take your left hand to the outside of that right ankle or shin. It can be on the mat or resting on your shin. And twisting. Maybe you point your toes down towards the ground. Maybe you point your toes more towards your face. Up to you. Just one more breath. Inhale. Exhale your deepest. Inhale, rotate back center. We're going to shift our weight back towards our right foot. And then lift the chest, back toes are tucked here. We're trying to retwist with our hands heart center. Bring that left elbow to the outside of that right knee again. Then from here, transitioning back to that twisted lunge, just for a second. Inhale, lift that back knee up. Release your palms. And then swing your arms forward, overhead, high lunge. Begin to straighten your front leg. Bring that back foot in just enough till it's flat on the ground. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, begin to hinge at the hips. Reach as far forward as you can. Then drop that head and head down for pyramid pose. You want to try and keep your hips square towards the ground on the front of your mat. Typically, your left hip's going to open up, so pull back on that right. Maybe you bring a block or use a pillow, bring the floor close to you. Allow the crown of your head to fall forward for one more breath. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly begin to rise to stand, arms reach up and overhead. And then we're going to transition to a single leg stance. Bring our left knee to our chest, arms will come into cactus. I'm going to twist and face you guys. Whoops. Just like this. Right hand is going to wrap underneath the left. Left foot is going to wrap underneath our left shin. If you can't do that, just keeping it unhooked on your shin. Lift your elbows shoulder height, press those palms away. Inhale. Exhale, drop your butt down, eagle pose. Squeeze everything together from your legs to your hands. Stay nice and tight for 5, 4, you got this, 3, 2, 1. Release everything, unravel, arms reach up overhead to stand. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold down the middle. Good. Hang out here for a little bit. Hands can dangle underneath our shoulders. Grab opposite elbows, sway side to side, coming back all arms. If you'd like, maybe you can grab your shins, your feet, or your toes, pull yourself deeper. Whichever you take, 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale for 2. One more time. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Inhale. We're going to bend the knees, lift the chest, arms rise up, chair pose again. Setting ourselves up for the other side. Maybe this time we're able to get a little bit deeper, tucking our pelvis underneath. Inhale. Exhale, bring our hands heart center a little bit deeper in that squat. Inhale. And then this time on your next exhale, right elbow's gonna hook to the outside of that left knee. Keep that butt nice and low. Pull back on that right hip. Don't let that right knee pass that left. Fun transition, right foot. Step to the back of your mat. Twisted lunge, smooth and controlled. Drop that back knee, untuck those back toes. And then you're gonna take that variation, whatever you did on the other side. Either keeping the twist, left arm extends out behind you. Rotating forward, hands reach up overhead, lean those hips forward, or both arms extended out for the twist. Whichever you take, feel a nice stretch in your right hip flexor. Make sure that left knee doesn't go past those front toes. 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. One more time. Inhale. Exhale your deepest. Rotating back forward if you haven't done so already. Tucking those back toes, hips shift back. Straighten that front knee. Inhale, express the chest. And then exhale, fold. And try to take the twist, if you did so on the other side, right hand's now coming to the outside of that left shin. It can rest on the shin or the ankle. Point your toes down if you'd like, or towards your face. Whichever you choose, just for 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale your deepest. Inhale, recentering or rotating back center. Shift your weight back towards that front foot. Setting ourselves back up for that twisted lunge. So back toes are tucked here. Bring our hands heart center. Hook your right elbow to the outside of that left knee. Squeeze everything together. And then lift that right knee off the mat, twisted lunge. Extend your arms out, and then swing them forward and up overhead, high lunge just for a second. Straighten that front leg, bring that back foot in just enough till it's flat on the mat. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale, hinging at the hip, folding over pyramid on the left side. Keeping those hips square to the front of the mat. So this time we want to pull back on that left hip. Hands are rounding our front foot, using a block or pillows here if need be. For 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, fold. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale your deepest. Inhale, slowly begin to rise 1 vertebrae at a time. Arms reach up overhead. And then bring our right knee to our chest to stand on our left leg alone. Hands come to cactus. Twisting to face you guys. Setting ourselves up for our last pose of the standing sequence. Left arm's gonna wrap underneath right, coming to eagle arms. Then right leg's gonna wrap underneath, or around our left leg, I should say. Inhale, elbows up, press those palms away. And on the exhale, drop your butt down, eagle pose. Squeezing your legs, feet, arms, and hands together. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that right leg on the mat with your arms reach up overhead. Exhale, dive to the midline, Uttanasana, forward fold. Great job, guys. Hard part's over. Take a sip of water if need be. We're gonna dial it down now, get into our hips. I'm gonna face this way so we're on the same spot. Inhale, half lift. Fingers hover off the mat. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, plank pose. Slowly lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, lift up, cobra. Tuck your toes, push back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot's gonna lift up and behind us. Exhale, we're gonna step to the outside of our right palm. Drop that back knee, untuck those back toes. So again, different angle, should be like this. We're gonna roll to the outside of that right ankle, externally rotating, opening up that hip. Inhale, you're gonna express the chest. Then on the exhale, you're gonna lower down for lizard's pose. If you're able to come down your forearms, or you're just staying up on your hands like I am. Try to stay nice and tall and long here, okay? Try and relax, feel your hips sink closer and closer to the ground. Try and focus on bringing that heart rate, breathing rate down. We're gonna take 5 more breaths here on your own. Then we'll transition to pigeon. So if you're trying to take that now, we'll get there soon, don't worry. 3 more breaths here, guys. I'm just gonna twist so I have enough room. 1 last breath in lizards, inhale. Then exhale. Coming up on your hands, if you aren't already, you're gonna take your right foot, and you're just gonna wiggle it across your mat, then allow your right shin and right knee to fall down towards the ground. Look back, make sure that left shin isn't poking out to the side. Try and adjust that right foot, making that front shin as parallel to the top of your mat as you can. Inhale, express the chest. And then on the exhale, folding over pigeon pose. If you're falling towards your outer right glute, you have a couple options. You can try and recenter yourself, pretending to touch the front left aspect of your hip towards your right heel. Or you can place a block or pillow underneath your right glute, take some of the load off. Gonna be here for a little bit. Try and keep the spine long here. Don't just fold straight down towards the ground. And if you'd like, you can take mermaid in this position where you lift the chest, you bend the left knee, reach back, and pull your foot in, stretching out the quad. From there, the next part would be trying to get the foot in the left crook of your elbow, and then with the foot in your elbow, locking behind your hands, or just staying down in pigeon like I'm doing for 5 more breaths. If you're in mermaid, you only want to hold it for 2 or 3 breaths and then lower down, you can, up to you. Whatever feels best for you. 2 more breaths wherever you are, guys. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Your deepest. If you're in mermaid, lowering down so we're all in the same spot. Everybody planting their palms, straightening the arms, lifting the chest. We're going to tuck your back toes. Kick that right leg up and behind you. Maybe open up the right hip towards the right side. Allow that left heel to fall down toward the ground though. Inhale. Exhale, lower that right foot to meet your left in regular down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts up and behind us. And on the exhale, step to the outside of that left palm now. Drop that back knee, untuck those back toes. We're gonna roll to the outer edge of that left ankle. Allow that hip to open up, externally rotate. Inhale, express the chest. And then on the exhale, lowering down for pigeon, or not pigeon, lizard pose, sorry. And if you're having trouble, have tight hips like me, you stay up on your hands. You can bring a pillow or block to put your forearms or hands on the ground. Try not to force your right hip lower. You're trying to still keep your hips square here, okay? You're gonna be here for 5 more breaths on your own. Then we'll transition to pigeon. If you want to take this further, maybe you take your left hand and push that knee further away from you, opening up your hip a little bit more. Or keep your hips square or flat on the ground for 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale a little bit more. Last one here in lizards. Inhale. Exhale. Then we're going to transition, sliding or flattening out that left foot first, and then sliding it across our mat. Bring your shin and knee down towards the ground. Look back, make sure your shin's not poking out to the side. Adjust that front foot accordingly, making your left shin as parallel to the top of your mat as you can. Inhale, express the chest when you're ready. And then on the exhale, folding over, pigeon pose on the left side. Now, if you feel yourself falling over towards your outer left glute, now trying to pretend you're trying to touch your right front aspect of your hip towards your left heel, or placing a pillow or block underneath that left glute. Up to you. And if you did so on the other side, taking mermaid here, reaching back with your right hand now, grabbing your right foot. Try and do so if you did it on the other side, just trying to be as symmetrical balance as possible. Really pulling that foot in, taking advantage of the pose. And wherever you are, taking 5 more breaths on your own. Feel free if you want to try out mermaid or come out of mermaid earlier before that, up to you. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale your deepest for 3. Coming out of mermaid back to pigeon, so we're on the same spot. Everybody planting their palms, lifting the chest, tucking those back toes. And when you're ready, you lifting, kicking back, 3-legged dog. Open up the hip if you did so on the other side. Allow that right heel to sink towards the ground. And then drop that left foot to meet your right in down dog. Bending your knees, coming to hero's pose. Chest is lifted here. Last 2 poses, we're going to do 2 back bends. We're going to do 2 camels. That's it. They can be pretty intense. If you want to lie on your back and do bridge pose or full wheel, you're more than welcome to, okay? So lifting the hips so that our torso, hips are on one line, knees are at a 90-degree angle. You tuck your toes here, okay? You're going to take your hands and place them on your low back at the top of your glutes. You're going to slightly gaze up at the ceiling. On your next inhale, you're going to press your hips slightly forward and then lean your upper chest slightly backwards for a little bit of back bend, camel pose. We're just going to hold this here for 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale for 2. One more time. Inhale, exhale, coming back up to neutral. Trying to avoid folding over right now. Just a lot of hyperflexion extension. We're just going to do one more back bend. If you want to take it further, you can take your hands towards your heels like this and allow yourself to hold it here, or you stay where we were, okay? Up to you. Prepping now. Inhale, leaning back for that camel pose, taking whichever you'd like, or maybe you're in bridge, it's up to you. For 3 breaths, inhale, exhale for 1, inhale, exhale for 2, one more time, inhale, exhale, coming to neutral. First, bring your hips down to your knees. Separate your knees so they're wider than hip distance. Untuck your toes. Hands come down in between your knees. Slowly walk them out for a wide-legged child's pose. Should feel really nice. Nice and easy. Then slowly walk your hands back, lifting the chest. And you can either hang out in hero's pose or sit on your butt and fire log, crossing your ankles or shins, up to you. Looking at me. Thank you guys for joining me today. We put our hands heart center and clasp by saying, the light in me honors the light in every single one of you. We bow our head and say namaste. Again, has been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me today. There is no yoga on Friday. Be on the lookout for our schedule.